Welcome back to the Sales Pulse podcast. I'm Marla Koupal, and I love selling. How many of you have been told by someone or your sales trainers or your bosses that to be successful in sales, you have to have a good pitch, you have to say the right words, you really want to handle those objections, so practice them and close strong? Well, I was told that, and it was very uncomfortable for me because it wasn't who I was. I love to have conversations with people. I love to hear them. And I find that if I don't worry about time, we are very efficient with our time and we dive deep and have great conversations. So I want to talk to you today about why you maybe aren't having those deep conversations that you'd like to have with your sales prospects, and how it is that you can engage with them. And a lot of that will be what you need to get rid of in your head. So today we're going to talk about the 7 rules for architecting a great sales conversation. They're going to give you permission to let go of old baggage and lean into curiosity, adaptability, and connection. Those are the ways that you're going to make sales. So rule number 1 is make peace with your past calls. You know, those calls that you beat yourself up about and say, oh, I could have done better. So you don't want to carry a bad call into the next call. Ask yourself, am I leaving them behind or am I taking them with me? Maybe yesterday's buyer said no, and now you're a little apologetic when you get on the phone with the next person. Wait a minute, they don't know each other. So keep it straight, keep it focused, and let go of what happened before. Your past calls are your teachers, not your tormentors, not your judges. I had a client and she was feeling rejected. In practice, we did role plays, and she had 3 rejections in a row. And so she was bracing for failure when she was in her calls. Before she even said hello, she was tense. Her tone showed it. The buyer could feel it. So when she reframed her no's as lessons, she relaxed. And on her next call, believe it or not, she made the sale. Peace is not forgetting the last sales conversation you had, but it is growing from it and setting it aside before you go into the next call. Sounds easy, but I know it's not. So drop the weight of the last call. Rule number 2, time heals prospects too. We forget that buyers have their own timing. Even though you want to make a sale today, it doesn't mean that it's their day to make a buying decision. So how are you going to balance that out? I had a business coach once that was really great, loved her business, but was having a hard time closing. Well, business coaching takes a little bit of time. It's not an instant oatmeal purchase. So we talked about that, and it wasn't a stall that the person had. She just needed to reframe what was going on with her buyer. Well, her buyer wanted to work it into her budget. So then what was the strategy? Well, the strategy was to say, well, in the meantime, what I'd like to do while you're putting your budget together is I'd like to send you a proposal. I'd also like to research a couple of those questions you asked me and send you that response. And then when would be a good time to check in? Well, she checked in again in 6 weeks, and guess what? She made the sale. Just don't get in your head. So what buyers think of you is none of your business. How many times have you been in a sales conversation and somebody rolls their eye or they look away or they take a phone call and it stings a little bit? It feels like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? What did I screw up? Oh, are they going to ghost me? Oh, they did ghost me. Well, it doesn't get any better if you allow those times to affect your self-worth. You cannot allow whatever's going on in their world to affect your world. And really, if you stop prospecting, and I had a client do that for a while, then you're getting behind in what you have to do. Figure out how you let those opinions slide off. Don't let them silence you. When people see your value, they're happy to pay. So the question should not be, how am I going to be liked? It's how am I representing my value and could I do a better job? Number 4, stop comparing conversations. My gosh, you had a conversation with Joe yesterday and with Mary today, and you think that their sales success is better than yours, and you're trying to wonder, what is Joe doing that you're not doing? Why did my calls not go as well as theirs? It's multiple reasons, but the first one is you're getting in your own way. I've been in rooms where 2 sellers approached the same type of buyer. One closed in 20 minutes, another one took 3 weeks. Both got the sale, but there were different rhythms and different journeys for the buyers. So it's not about your sales journey, it's about the buyer journey. The buyer's in control. Every decision style is unique. Every reasoning behind every decision, even though you're selling the same thing, is unique. Not everybody lives in urgent mode. So remember, your sales needs, like to close a sale, may be urgent, but not the buyer's. So don't lose the sale because you're urgent. Stay in your lane, stay just in the conversation that is in front of you. So what's number 5? Well, stop overthinking your next line. Like, what should I say? What should I say? That's how most of my clients are when they start with me. It's never about what you say. There is no perfect script. The perfect script is the one you don't say because you're listening. When a buyer speaks and you don't have enough information to craft a conversation, then you just say, tell me more, or explain that to me, please. It's not clever, it's not fancy, but you're still seeking more information, the foundation of any sales conversation. I've worked with sellers who've gone off script and they felt lost. They didn't know how to get back. Well, if you listen to your buyer, you can never go off script. You're not going to take a detour. You're not out of control. You're in the most control you can be because you're following the buyer's journey. That's the art form of sales. 6, no one's in charge of the energy on the call but you. You're in charge of all the energy. I'm going to ask you this question. Do you smile when you pick up the phone to prospect? Do you smile when you even write your DM message to someone? Are you in a great space to receive good results? If your energy isn't there, then the buyer's energy will never be there. They won't match you. If you're rushed or you're distracted or you're doing anything to take away from your focus on the one person you're with, whether it's in a message, on a Zoom, or person to person, then that's the lesson that you want to learn here is it's not always that you have the same product or the same price point as someone else. It's that you have the better attitude that attracts the buyer to work with you versus them. And lastly, don't wait for the buyer to have enthusiasm. Buyers don't always get enthusiastic about stuff because they're coming through with their history from the last buying experience they had. They're coming through wondering, are you going to be the biggest jerk ever that they've met because the last one was pretty bad? Or they could be, oh, I'm overbuying. I know I'm going to have to hear about it when I get home. So don't let your enthusiasm for the product really get in the way of hearing what's going on for the buyer. Now, I know a lot of people who are starting out into sales for the first time in network marketing. They get really excited about what the product has done for them. And that's valuable. That is your fuel to keep going, but it will not be the buyer's fuel. So what are you going to do? Just match, take the pressure out of the call, and allow them to step into enthusiasm, but don't impose it because yours is over the top. Sales works best when both sides can breathe in the conversation. Those are the 7 tips that I have for you, 7 rules, 7 things for you to look at that might be stressing out your sales conversations. They're simple, but they're powerful. They're not hacks. They're permissions. They're commissions to release yesterday's baggage. They're permission to give the buyers some more time. And they're permission to show up with curiosity about the buyer instead of your script. You want the permission to architect conversations that can work with any type of a human being, young, old, opinionated, not opinionated, male, female. This is the most playful time of your life. Sales is the most playful profession you could be in. So bring some good, positive energy and get the mind in the right place so that you can walk with every buyer's journey. So here's my question for you. Which of these 7 rules are you going to take a look at this week? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Put them in the comments or follow me on LinkedIn. And what I'd also like to say is join us next Tuesday when we will have the next episode of the Sales Pulse podcast.